but it's like boogers. I actually painted this one a few months ago, but only had time to edit the footage this week. This design is inspired by my love of coffee, also the fun coffee tasting we had. I'm putting a link here if you want to check it out. Inspiration is everywhere, but it's so elusive. You have to create space for it and capture it. Let me first talk about how I got inspired for this painting. And I have to go back to my coffee habits. We only do coffee cupping once in a while, but we do drink multiple cups a day, brewed in different ways and using different beans, mostly light roasts. As I taste more varieties of coffee, I started to have a preference of what kind of coffee I like more. I enjoy the feelings or imageries I get from certain types of coffee, so I figure this is my preference. By the way, I'm the type of person who have to sample a lot of different varieties before I can decide on my favorite. My husband always buys lighter roasted stuff, which tends to be fruitier. This type of coffee really gives off a feeling of something like a fruit punch, fruit drink, raspberry jam type of taste. But recently we tried some more floral coffee, some expensive beans called geisha beans. They're actually quite good and generally have this nice floral taste and sometimes carry some fruit flavors as well. This combo is just a perfect harmony to me. We try some medium roasted coffee as well. They typically carry more of a roasty flavor, like smoky flavor. As a straight coffee, the flavor is just too strong, and there's not much nuance to the flavors. It does go well with milk though, and I do enjoy a cup of iced cappuccino from time to time. So how is this related to my inspirations and self-expression for art? Well, trying different types of coffee bean is a learning process for me to do better in terms of understanding and express myself. I learn by differentiating the notes, by describing them and articulating what I taste, what I feel. Not everyone will taste the same flavors from the coffee. This sounds very trivial, but it's such a valuable experience to me, and it's similar to art. Art is a form of expression. What I paint, why I painted, there are always reasons. Sometimes it's just so deep in my subconscious mind that it feels like it's coming from nowhere, and I just can't articulate and express them properly. I gloss over it as I just feel like it or it looks good, but I believe I can do better in this. If I can communicate better, I can share my inspirations and thoughts better, and it'll bring more values and maybe inspire you to create what you love. After drinking more cups of the floral forward beans, when I closed my eyes to try to pinpoint the taste, I could really immerse in the flavor. I guess the closest way to describe it is it feels like I'm sniffing a beautiful bouquet, or even being in a lovely garden. So I wanted to realize it, see if I can give the smell and taste some physical form. In the past, I couldn't even describe it. My standard response would be, oh, it tastes good, I like it. But what I could do is dig deeper, try to answer the questions like, what did I like about it, why I like it, and what flavor did I taste, how does it feel on my tongue? All these questions seem pointless. After all, I'm not trying to become a coffee connoisseur. But these questions push me to think. And by finding these answers, I get to know myself better. And that, to me, is the basic for self-expression. If I'm not even clear on what I like, why I like them, how do I express myself properly? Life is becoming really fast-paced these days. I find myself rushing from one thing to another, always trying to optimize the process, trying to save time. I multitask all the time, listening to videos when I do house chores, learning Japanese while waiting for the microwave to finish. I have no time to slow down and just observe. And I think it really kills my opportunity to accumulate my inspirations. Just like I talk about in the coffee tasting video, playing and doodling is not a waste of time. Slowing down, observe what you like, pay attention to your feelings and response to different foods, activities, or sceneries is very valuable. Sometimes you can have inspirations immediately. You just want to grab a pen or brush and just raring to go. Sometimes you might not feel a thing, but by appreciating good things and feelings, it plants a seed in your subconscious. And these pieces will slowly accumulate and interact and combine with each other, and one day will germinate into something beautiful. You might feel like the inspirations or ideas coming from nowhere, but you've been doing the hard work all along. So once I have the idea, I'm trying to give them shape. Here I imagine the bubbly, peaceful feelings I get when sipping on the clean floral coffee. It gently spreads and coats inside of my mouth, very relaxing, very soothing. The best way and most intuitive way to me is to put a character in the painting, showing the expression I have, being in a space that I imagine. I love beautiful gardens. Sadly, I suck at keeping plants alive, so I don't have any at home. But I always believe sitting in a nice garden just doing nothing would be very enjoyable. I like the cool outfits with a little bit of an edge, so I chose a black dress with destroyed and uneven lace bottom. I like black military boots, so that's my shoe of choice. And the cup she's holding is a teal color, one of my favorite colors. I think it gives just the right amount of pop for the whole painting. In the background, I'm adding all sorts of cute and weird characters. These two are hanging on the leaves and vines playing around. And this one in a watermelon suit. And this one is very happily traveling on a piece of leaf. This one, I don't know, fairy of grapes? Of course, when I decide on these characters, I have to consider the composition, what space is best for which character, and what color should they be, and what outfit should they have. But what they have in common is the playfulness I want to convey. Technique-wise, I first painted wet on wet to keep the background very atmospheric. And when I add details, I was being very selective not to add too many hard edges to keep it loose and dreamy. Alright, so this is the finished painting. I love how it turned out. This is the first time I'm painting a garden. I'm still on my way to grow and evolve my artistic voice. But I hope by sharing my experience with you, it helps you to stay inspired and stay creative and better express yourself. Now I'm going to enjoy some coffee, preferably some Flora Geisha. And I'll see you in the next video.